All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Tonight, we're going to talk about small business alliances and how it's a realtor's secret weapon. This happens to be a subject that I'm pretty passionate about. When it comes to small business, I've been doing it my whole life. I own a tree and landscape company. My family owned an ice cream business. I've helped endless friends with different types of businesses, and small business is just what I love doing. Now I own a real estate brokerage. So I want to talk to you guys about how important it is as a realtor or real estate agent, whatever you are, to help out the community and to really build a great local community of small businesses. We've all become used to these bigs, right? Google and Apple and everything else that people want. But the truth is, why do we want them? Like, we used to support local people, and now we go to the big stores. During different times, we could only shop at Walmart. Now we don't pay attention to the small business. I think everyone's really understanding that that's had a lot of impact, and there's a big trend back towards small businesses. As a real estate agent, pairing yourself with small businesses grows the community in so many different ways. So let's talk about it today, and let's go over some of the things you can do and just kind of go over how you can use this to grow your commissions and to grow your community and to grow the value of your clients' homes. All right, well, let's get started. So first off, what do that mean by grow the value of your client's home? I want to start there because I think it's really important for people to understand. When you go and shop locally, you're supporting a local business owner who's supporting local people who spend the money locally. When you spend your money at a big box store, a lot of times the people do get some sort of paycheck, a little bit, of course, as a manager, but most of the money leaves your community and goes up to the C-level and above, right? So when we shop locally, we're putting money back into our own community. So if we're teaching our clients where to shop locally, they're spending money within their own community. The businesses, when they have more money, can keep their storefronts nicer. They can put flowers in. They can grow the community that way. They can pay taxes. They can help ultimately the town. They can help everybody, right? So if we shop locally, it continues the cycle of money, right? The money runs in a circle versus running a straight line right out of your neighborhood. Now, how do we relate that to being a real estate agent and why? Well, clients never really know who to hire or what to do, right? They're moving into a new neighborhood and they're saying to themselves, geez, I need a plumber, I need a carpenter, I gotta figure out where I'm gonna get coffee, where should I go get it to the gym? Where should I drop my kid off for childcare? Where can I get an Uber? What can I, all these different things, right? Well, what happens is, as we work our way along in the community, you teach them the different things. Instead of an Uber, maybe you say, hey, there's a local livery service that drives people around. Maybe you should use that guy. He's a competitive price. Or a local cab service that's going to be a competitive price. Or, hey, have you checked out, Marino's sandwiches over there? You should check that out. Or have you been to this gym? As we teach people where to shop locally, we're bringing them two things. One, value in the idea of where to shop and finding what they want, but the other one, the value of the community that they're going to be joining, whether they're joining a local gym where there's a community, or they're going to a sandwich shop where they can meet everybody in the community. One thing that small business always did better than big business is community ties, right? People go in there just to get their food, but also to see people, to conversate, to have these little interactions with their own community and neighborhoods about. Whereas in big stores, a lot of times people push these big shopping carts and it's all about price, right? They don't even like the place. They just want to get stuff as cheap as possible and get out of there. Whereas in a lot of small stores, small businesses, they wander around, they pick things up, they talk about how unique and everything it is. So as a real estate agent, guiding them towards this is going to add value. Now think about it as a buyer. You buy a new house and you need a plumber. It's not just as easy as going to these large websites and typing it in and reading the reviews and trusting everything. It's really important to know someone who was successful with them before. So as a real estate agent, when your clients are finding success, you get these contractors' names, and now you can hand them on to other clients that you have, or you can talk to your friends, family, everybody. Who have you had done this? But guys, make sure to interview people. Make sure to check in on their credentials. Make sure they're going to do a good job, because one of the things you got to realize is when you write a referral, you're going to be held accountable if the referral doesn't go correctly. Whether that's right or wrong, I'm not here to argue, but people will ask you, why did this happen? Or they'll be mad at you. Make sure if a referral goes bad that you step it up, you move in, and you fix the issue. Or you try to help as much as you possibly can. But the last thing to do is not answer their calls, or you'll never have business with them and they'll be the person that'll give you the bad review or the different things, even though they weren't even working with you. So as a referrer, as a person sending out referrals, you really need to think to yourself, can this person handle it, and will they handle it? And if not, then just simply say, you know what, I don't know anybody in that field, versus going with someone, oh, just go call that person. Because remember, if you gave the name, they're going to think that you're vouching for them. And if you're vouching for them and they mess up, what does that mean about you? It means you gave them a bad referral. Now, I know it doesn't work that way. Not everybody's going to be mad, right? But lots of people will be. So think, when I'm going to refer people to places, I want to think about places that are really special to me. And one of the cool parts about this, right, is as a small business owner, we're always looking for other people to share about our business, right? We see all the time some celebrity post something down below, 100,000 likes, 20,000 comments, 72,000 shares, and there we are, a small business owner. We're like, hey, glad my mom showed up. I'm glad my dad sent me a message. I'm glad my cousin wrote that. Whereas, why is it we don't support local more? So as a real estate agent, by supporting local, what do you think is going to happen when it comes to your profile? They're going to share your profile as well. They're going to want to grow you because you're growing them. And what better than to grow around a bunch of businesses you know, like, trust, respect, enjoy shopping at? How hard is it to sell someone something that you enjoy? And you're really not selling it as much as you're actually guiding them towards what it is that you already enjoy doing. That's so much better in life, right? So working with these local businesses, I can go down to the gym and say, hey, listen, I'm a real estate agent, I'm local. Do you have any sort of incentive that I could offer my new clients that are moving to the area? Oh yeah, here's a new membership for free for a month. Or hey, here's some information that we have. Or hey, here's a coupon we have coming up. Or hey, why don't you have them come in and talk to Michael? He's the director of staff and onboarding. Well, by meeting these people, we can see the inner workings, but also create more relationships. Because remember, in real estate, it's really about the idea that interactions lead to transactions, right? So when you think of a mantra, interactions lead to transactions, the more people you interact with, the more people you will transact with. So by going out and meeting these local business owners, where do local business owners live? They live in houses, right? What do local business owners' employees do for a living? They either rent or they own houses as well. So everyone has a place to live, whether it be a rental or a house that they own. So how is creating interactions ever going to lead to anything negative? It's not. So create more interactions with your local community, create more referrals. I've seen agents that have great little folders where they put everything in, different coupons, different incentives, different information, maybe a quick little list with all the different phone numbers of places. Guys, be a resource to your client. In the realtor world, we're always talking about like what we do and blah, 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 most sales, this, that, and the other thing. The truth is, the ones with the most sales that do well in the long term provide the most value. Providing value to your clients, making it a less stressful experience, making them understand what's going to be next, making them have those different contacts, you're putting together a really smooth road for them. Whereas the person who's just like, hey, this is due tomorrow, hey, that's due tomorrow, thanks for the check, and then they never reply to the client. That's not going to create something that's long-term and sustainable. So by networking and interworking yourself into the community, you're able to take that community and expose it out to the other side, to your network. And really, guys, like I said at the beginning, it's like, you're going to raise your community value, because the more you invest locally, the more money invested. You're going to raise the value of your client's transaction with you, because by getting these contacts, these referrals, guess who they're going to call? It's going to make their life easier. What better than to call a tree service that you know is not going to rip you off, versus calling 6 different ones and hoping for good luck? Or what better than to call the best plumber versus figuring out when you hire someone that can't get the job done? Or anything else like that. So that's another value add, right? And in the long run, the referrals, they just keep running and running. And what I've found in business is, most referrals come from sources you've referred to. So it's hard to think like a chicken egg scenario where, what do you mean I got to start the chain by giving off a referral to start the inbound chain of referrals in? People refer to people who referred to them. People have kind of that whole reciprocal thought process, right? If you do for me, I need to do for you. So by putting yourself out there all the time, creating interactions, you're going to lead to transactions, but you're also going to lead to new opportunities across your entire business, because putting yourself out there and talking to people about things you might not talk about, things you might not know about, puts yourself into a new position. When working as a real estate agent, it's really important to remember, if you want to keep your paycheck and if you want to keep your commissions up, you really need to add more value than just simply opening the door. If you're just opening the door, you're going to see your pay erode, you're going to see it go downhill, and it's not going to really change, right? Because why pay someone a lot of money to go open the door with a key? If you're providing value by really helping people understand the whole process, helping people understand the whole community, helping people understand what they can do, you're really going to make a big difference in people's lives. So the more you can get intermingled or intertwined into your community, the better. And guys, it's not an easy job. In the modern world, not everyone does good work, right? So spend the time, pay attention to the people who have done work for different clients, and be ready to give out those referrals. Recently I had a chimney redone not too long back, and right after it was done, the guys were great, price was great, thing was awesome. They were insured, did super clean work, everything like that. And I had a company before that had done it, and I knew, so I could compare and contrast. Now I know, and I've sent them to so many different clients, and guess what? I've had a lot of happy referrals that reach back out to me and say, I'm glad I talked to you because I was going to spend X amount, and I only spent this, and they did an amazing job. Because remember, it's not all about the money, guys. It's about the quality and the product that comes out of small businesses as well. You got to pay attention when you're setting those referrals up that you're not just doing it for kickbacks or anything. And remember, if you're getting kickbacks, you must disclose them. If you're a real estate agent, you get any sort of kickback, whether it be from ADT for setting someone up for an alarm system or anything else that you can do where you can get that kickback, you better tell your clients, because remember, you got to follow the laws. I can't tell you the laws for every state or anything, but I know locally, if you're getting money from any sort of situation that you're aligning your clients with, you better tell them. Personally, I just like to give referrals. I'd rather just give the referral, head it out, and let them do it. I tell companies all the time, I'm not willing to take money on my client's name. That's not my business. I'll refer them out to them. They can deal with them, the plumber, the carpenter, electrician, whatever it is, and they can deal with them direct. And if there's a discount, they can give it to the client. I don't need to get $50 to set someone up for an alarm system and have them have a bad experience or something crazy like that. So remember, it's possible to get paid on it, but it's, make sure you properly disclose it. Make sure it's ethical, moral, everything like that. All right, guys. Well, one last thing I want to end the episode with is this is my last week of going live at 4 p.m. on Thursdays. I'm going to be still posting videos, still posting the podcast, everything else. I just don't have the time. I've been so busy with work lately that I really got to be out in the field. I kind of been cutting myself short lately. I missed a couple episodes. I thought I could do the live 4 p.m. thing, but YouTube, you win. It's very hard to be consistent every single day and show up for a podcast on a certain day and show up for a blog on another day and show up for this and then be like, okay, well, this one has to be at 4 p.m. on Thursday. So all excuses aside, I'll keep sending out content. Thank you guys so much for following me. Make sure if you haven't been to it, realfactsonrealestate.com, hit the subscribe button, pound the bell for notifications, and that way you can see future episodes. I do have some live interviews coming up. I do have a whole bunch of other film and footage coming up, but just not going to be Thursday every single week. It's going to be when I put it up, and I will post it here so that you guys can see it. Thanks again, and I look forward to talking to you the next time.